Sega's conference finals, Chauncey Billups, who went to 7 in a row. He went to Detroit Pistons. Incredible record of success.
What's going on, guys? Let's take a look here. We're getting blown out right now, unfortunately.
Cleveland did their first conference final since 2009. That was the year before LeBron James left. Funny how that correlates, huh? What an impressive victory for the Cavs. And again, you look, they were down 2-1 in this series. And down, as you mentioned earlier, Jeff, down 11 in the third quarter of Game 4, facing a 3-1 deficit in the series. So they got the buzzer beater to win Game 4 to tie it up. And then regaining control, and were dominant here in the second half. Well, it was the number 23 for Chicago who tormented Cleveland for a number of years. Now it's the number 23 in Cleveland who's tormenting Chicago for the 4th time in 6 years. LeBron James' team will eliminate the Chicago Bulls.
How ironic is that? Wow.
This one down. And time for celebration, and perhaps more importantly for the Cavs who are a bit banged up. Time for a chance to rest a little bit before they play their opponent in the conference final. Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers are back in the conference final. Perhaps in his final game as head coach of the Bulls, as the Cavs win the series 4-2. James will head to his 5th consecutive conference final. He was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. Derrick Rose, good sign for the Bulls going forward, was that he stayed healthy throughout the playoffs. And that will be key to the Rose and Rose out next year. Right now, let's get Lisa Saunders with LeBron James.
Thank you, Mike. LeBron, like every other game in the series, we just kept waiting for them to make a run. It didn't happen. What allowed you guys to be so dominant tonight in their building?
Defensively. Obviously, another offensive struggle for us as a team. But when we defend at a high level, we don't give ourselves a great chance to win every single night, and we did that tonight once again.
Your backup point guard was forced to play most of the game, ended up being the team's high scorer. For people who don't know, tell the world who Matthew Dellavedova is.
Matthew Dellavedova, he grew up playing rugby, so you know he's the toughest guy on the team. Went to St. Mary's out west, and you know, he had a magical shot in the tournament, if people remember. And then he's just a guy that works extremely hard, man. And you know, we're blessed to have a guy like that. We're blessed to have our whole team that just, it doesn't matter when their number's called, they're always ready.
Did you see that kind of performance in him?
Well, I know he's tough as nails, and the one thing about that, he never makes a mistake. Because how hard he plays, if he makes one mistake, then you're okay with that because of how hard he plays and how in tune he is. So I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him for him to have a performance like he had tonight in the absence of Kyrie.
Now, looking ahead, this is going to be your 5th consecutive Eastern Conference Finals. What are you going to tell your young guys about this next challenge?
Well, they passed the first 2 challenges, even surprising me a little bit. We got a young group that's very hungry, and we're still, even though we're the most unexperienced group that's still left in this field, these guys love to learn. They love to play for one another. And I'm going to tell them to get off their feet for the next couple of days because we need it. We got some bumps and bruises, but we will get back to work and wait for our next opponent.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you.
So they'll await the winner of Atlanta-Washington. If they play Washington, they'll have home court advantage against the Wizards. And you saw the arc between Dellavedova and James. And if they play Atlanta, the Hawks would have the home court advantage. The season series really at this point doesn't mean a heck of a lot. The home court certainly does. But more importantly, as LeBron James said, they'll get some rest, especially for the banged-up Kyrie Irving. So the Cleveland Cavaliers in 6 games advance to the conference finals with a 94-73 victory here in Game 6. Coming up next, Game 6 between the Rockets and Clippers from LA. Mike Tirico and Yumi Brown will have the call. So for Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson, Lisa Saunders, producer Tim Corrigan, director Jimmy Moore, and our entire ESPN crew, Mike Green saying, so long from Chicago. Coming up next, we'll join our studio after the break as the Cavs advance to the next round of the NBA playoffs.
Hello, Scott, man.
All right, so there you guys have it. Bulls just got blown out by 21 points, 94-73. Give me one sec, guys. Let me get my camera back up on here and put the appropriate music on as well. Hold on, please. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. Wow. Where to begin? First of all, shout out to LeBron. All right, amazing performance again. 1 rebound shy of a triple double. All right. And I'm just pretty surprised that we lost 3 consecutive games, especially after having a 2-1 series lead after Game 3. I did not expect us to win Game 4, which, by the way, that was the game that LeBron hit that game-winning shot. All right, I did expect us to lose that game to you know to have the series even up at 2 apiece, because I knew that the chances of us going up 3 games to 1 was pretty slim. However, I expected us to win Game 5, you know, and we lost that one, obviously, and we lost Game 6 as well. So that's the unfortunate result of our 2015 playoff run. All right, and we're out of the playoffs. Obviously, the Cavs move on to play either the Hawks or the Wizards. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the the Cavs are going to play the Hawks. All right. This is also LeBron's 5th consecutive Eastern Conference Finals. That's the second most in recent history, if I'm not mistaken, because Chauncey Billups was the last player to make it there 5+ times with 7 appearances with the Pistons. I do expect the Cavs to beat either the Hawks or the Wizards to go to the finals, and I also expect the Cavs to win the NBA championship as of now. Not to mention, guys, they beat us without one of their starting 5 players. That should say something right there, right? Cleveland won this series in 6 games without Kevin Love, which is pretty impressive. I gotta really hand it to them. Not only that, but they were playing this series the first 2 games without J.R. Smith as well, so even more props to them. Am I happy that they won? Absolutely not. But I'm not gonna stand here and hate on them because I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Now, sure, I am a very upset Bulls fan because our 17-year drought continues. All right, assuming that we do win the championship next year, that makes it an 18-year drought of no championships. All right. Tom Thibodeau, they're saying he might get fired. I hope not, because he's taken us to the playoffs every single year that he's been there. Not only that, but we've always done good in the regular seasons every time that he's been the coach since 2010. All right. So yeah, I hope he does not get fired. But we'll see how that plays out. Now, the only thing that keeps me from being more upset than I actually am is the fact that, and some of you may not know this, but we have um, the Chicago Bulls have the most championships since the 90s of any team to date. All right, no team post 1998 has more championships than us. Lakers, Lakers and Spurs both come closest with 5 each. All right, but no team has had 6 championships since us. All right, so that's what keeps me from being upset, and I'm pretty proud. Um, as a Bulls fan, I'm pretty proud to say that we have the most championships since the last 2 decades. All right, despite the fact that we haven't done too well in the playoffs, but I'm still proud to say that. All right, to say that we've won a repeat, three-peat. No team has ever done that since us. All right, no team has ever won 2 three-peats since the Bulls. All right, so there you guys have it. Now, and no, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying this is what makes me. This is what prevents me from being more upset than I currently am. All right. Now, on that happy note, let me know what you guys thought of tonight's game, this whole series, LeBron, Rose, etc., etc. Let me know how far you guys think the Cavs will go. Do you guys think that they'll get the championship? Do you guys think that they'll only win the East? Blah, blah, blah. All right. And on that happy note, I will gladly get to you guys soon. All right. That's all she wrote.